Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjan-shalakaya Chakshurumlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Sadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah. Viraga Vidya Nij Bhakti Yogam Shikshaya Kratam Sapurusham Puran Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Buddhiya Stamam Prapadde Anand Leela Maya Vigrahaya Himamya Divya Chavi Sundaraya Tasme Maha Prem Raspradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Nityanandam Namastubhyam Premanand Pradayane Kalo Kalmash Nashaya Shri Janava Patehi Namaha Jaitam Surtapangut Mama Mandamater Gati Mat Sarvas Padam Bhujo Shri Radha Madan Mohanu Bhaktya Vihinaya Parad Lakshay Shiptasya Kamadhitarang Madhe Kripamayi Tam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. All together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Before I start class, announcement that tomorrow will be no Japa or Harikatha session. I'm traveling tomorrow and also not sure about day after tomorrow. It will be spontaneous message because I'll be in car. If we get good connection in car while drive, I have a 5-hour drive day after tomorrow going to another location. So it's possible then we'll come on, we'll do Japa and some Harikatha. If not, I'm sorry for that. And secondly, because our devotees, our team, I mean the host, trying to arrange best as they can, chanting with acharyas. So because we just started yesterday, today's only second day, and they are sharing their screen and we can see Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev and acharyas, and more ideas coming in our mind to facilitate us in this 1 or 2 hours every day, fully absorbed and meditate on our acharyas, our Gurudevs and holy name. So my humble request, please don't draw anything. I see someone is drawing on the screen and that's a disturbance. So if you're doing this, you're disturbing everyone and that's offense. That's the offense because everyone is trying to focus on Harinam and you're trying to disturb everyone. So please don't do that. Just focus on chanting that moment. Acha, that's all. Shri Bhajan Rahse Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namane Gaur Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. So we were hearing the method for one to perfect the chanting of his mantra, Harinam and the Gayatri mantra. When we say Harinam and Gayatri mantra, if many of you, if you don't know, that means the mantra which we receive at the time of initiation from our Gurudev. Yesterday we had program here and many devotees said very beautiful points about initiation. दीक्षा काले भक्त करे आत्म समर्पण, से काले कृष्ण करे तार आत्मसम. At the point of Diksha, getting initiation from Gurudev, a devotee fully surrender to one's Gurudev. And immediately that moment, Krishna embraced that person. And that means one gets perfection in realization of Krishna and having darshan of Krishna. But we all have gone through the process of initiation and this is not happening. So question comes, why it's not happening? Because our initiation is not completed yet. Only receiving mantra from one's Gurudev is not the meaning of completion of initiation. Receiving mantra from Gurudev means the admission in the school of initiation. That's admission. The process of Diksha is not complete just by receiving the mantras. And more than 1,000 times I have expressed this. It's not only Diksha Guru who gives initiation, Shiksha Guru also gives Diksha. Diksha Guru gives Diksha, Shiksha Guru also gives Diksha. Because if we know the definition of Diksha, that means Divya Gyan Yado Dadat, one who imparts the transcendental knowledge in the heart of disciple. That transferring the transcendental knowledge in the heart of a disciple is called Diksha. So when Gurudev gives mantras in the ears of a disciple, that's Diksha. But when Shiksha Guru speaks Hari Katha, that is also known as Diksha. Because Shiksha Guru is nourishing us with Hari Katha, and with that we get very sincere, we feel encouraged, and determination comes in our heart. Yes, I need to work very hard on my anarthas. I really want to achieve this goal. I really want to complete the process of initiation, to be with Krishna, to serve him. When one gets Sarup Siddhi, even then Diksha is not complete. What is Sarup Siddhi? To realize one's spiritual form, to see one's spiritual form in spiritual world. That's called Sarup Siddhi. It comes after following the process, the steps of Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, and then Prem. Sarup Siddhi. Even then, Diksha is not complete, even in that point. But one gets Vastu Siddhi. Means with that spiritual form, one get activated to serve the divine couple Shri Radha Krishna and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. When a person comes in action, a sadhaka practitioner achieves this stage and directly on the order of Shri Lalita Sakhi and on the order of Shri Rupa Manjari in that spiritual form as a gopi, as a maid servant of Radharani, when the very first time a person starts serving the lotus feet of Radharani, initiation complete. That's the point of completion of initiation. So what we are doing now, every day our daily practices, chanting Harinam, hearing Harikatha, serving deities, observing fasting, watering Tulasi, worshipping Tulasi, parikramas, all devotional practices, what we are doing, we are progressing on this we are progressing on this stage of completion of Diksha. That's why Sadhu Sangha is so important. Hearing Hari Katha is so important, because when we are hearing Hari Katha, our Diksha process is accelerating, because we are receiving this transcendental knowledge with the realizations of Acharyas, with the topics of Krishna, which are Subhadra, Shravan Subhadrani Rathangi Pani, Janmani Karmani Cha Yani Loke, Gitani Namani Tad Arthakani, Gayan Village Acharena Sangaha. At this stage, a person becomes mad, not materially mad or off, but transcendental mad. And in that madness, you start dancing and singing. Shavansu Bhadrani Rathangi Pane Janmani Karmani Chayani Loke Gitani Namani Tadarthakani Gayan Villaj Acharena Sangaha. Evam Vratam Sapriya Nam Kirtai Jat Anuraga Durutta Chittuchai Hasati Roti Roti Gayanti Anandman Udmanti Lokabajje, without considering what anyone will think about me. Giving up all shyness, a person dance and sing like a mad. That's the perfection of Diksha. That's the completion of Diksha to this point. So therefore, why we say Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya? Not every day, but every hour and every minute. Serving Bhagavatam is as much as possible in our condition state, with time limitations, as much as we can reside in proximity with Krishna Katha, which is equivalent to reside with Krishna. Hearing Hari Katha means residing with Krishna. Isn't it, when we hear Hari Katha or we speak, isn't it we start feeling we are getting purified? And we feel that presence of Acharyas and Krishna. But moment Hari Katha over, then the covering, external energy, we get enter into that immediately. So those who are constantly hearing Hari Katha, reading Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, chanting, that means staying with Krishna. That's the process of initiation. Diksha Kale Bhakta Kore Atma Samarpan. And also we heard what? Janma Koti Kore Yadi Shravan Kirtanam Tathapu na paye Krishna Premadhan. Even if one endeavors for performing, hearing and chanting for million of lifetime, one cannot get Krishna. Why? If anyone is lacking one very important point, Ashraya loya bhaje, tate Krishna nahi tyaje, ar sabe mare akarana. One who have taken shelter, Krishna never reject that person. But one who have not taken shelter, they all just die without any accomplishment, any achievement. Ashray loya bhaje. One who worships Krishna under the shelter of Ashya Vigraha Shri Radharani. Krishna cannot reject that person. And what is the meaning of under the shelter of Radharani? Asambhashya tadbhav gambhira chitta. What that's words? Anya radhar padambuja renu manashita vinda atati yat padankam asambhashya tadbhav gambhira chitta kuta sham sindhu rasa syavga. One who have not taken shelter, exclusive shelter of the lotus feet of Shri Radharani, which is Ashray Tattva, Ashya Vigraha. One who has not smeared the dust of Shri Vrindavan Dham, which is the place of pastime of Shri Radharani, Shreya Indira. But most important is Asambhashya Tadbhav Gambhira Chitta. One who have not associated with those who are Gambhira Chitta, very deep, deeply immersed in remembrance of Radharani. Asambhashya, not speaking or not associating with them. Kuta Shama Sindhu Rasa Syavaga. How one can dive into that ocean of Shamaras, means service of Krishna. So it's very important to associate with those who are taken shelter of Ashra Vigraha. Ashra Loya Bhaje Tate Krishna Nahi Tyaje. Krishna cannot reject them. And others, they don't achieve anything. That's the meaning of Diksha. It's something very serious. And it happened to us. And we are not taking this, we are taking this very lightly. But there's a great blessings of Krishna. That's the actually blessings of Krishna, that he chose us for this. And we are getting to know him more and more, and we're chanting his mantra more and more. Diksha is a process where one devotee, he literally or she beg for this. I beg you, Gurudev, please give me Diksha, this transcendental knowledge. I'm suffering in this material world with so many ups and downs, and every day is something or the other. So, Shakti Buddhihin, Ami Atihin, Karo More Atmasat. I have no strength. I have no intelligence. Please guide me. I'm just moving in darkness. Agyan Timirandasya. Please guide me with a torch of knowledge. Jnananjan Shalakaya. I cannot repay you, Gurudev. So a disciple is to literally beg for this and beg for the service of Gurudev. Then a person completes initiation. First begging for initiation, and then serving with one's heart and soul, with loving, not as a formality and thinking, oh, every day he's asking me to cook for me. Every day he's saying this to wash my clothes. We are grateful. He's choosing us for his service. Very important to understand the status, the mood of disciple. What should a disciple think? And when there is opportunity to serve, if we lose that opportunity, like Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev, they left this world in their pastimes of Radha Krishna, serving there. But when they were present here, all devotees, they used to serve them so much, thinking Gurudev is my life. And to see Gurudev, they used to come all the way India or any part of the world, even selling their cars, motorbikes, etc. So intense greed to associate him. Many devotees have this experience. So intense greed to be with him. But now when they left this world, how are we going to serve them? So it's a very rare opportunity to serve one's Gurudev, because he's showing us this path. He's giving us correct decisions. So this is the process of Diksha. Method for one to perfect the chanting of mantra. How we get perfection in chanting? If we don't know even the basics, and Gurudev who has given us this, even though I was reluctant, that's the prayer, right? Even though I was reluctant to accept this, but my Gurudev forcefully gave me. And now I'm realizing, yes, I'm so lucky. I was reluctant to accept this, but you gave me. And now I'm feeling so grateful, because I was ignorant and now I'm realizing what I've received from my Gurudev. So then one get near to the perfection of chanting the mantras, both Harinam and Gayatri mantra. Another point, in every Gayatri mantra we receive from Gurudev, many of you are initiated, I think all of you. So every Gayatri, Guru Gayatri, Gaur Gayatri, Krishna Gayatri, and those who are male devotees, they're chanting Brahm Gayatri also. And all Didis, Matajis, they are chanting also Gayatris. So every Gayatri we chant a word Dhimahi. Yes? Krishna Nandaya Dhimahi. Every mantra has, every Gayatri has the word Dhimahi. Dhimahi means, Dhi means intelligence. And Mahi means together, Dhimahi, service mode with complete intelligence. Dhimahi, actually the word Dhimahi means meditation, meditating on. Gurudev, I meditate on you. Oh Mahaprabhu, I meditate on you. Oh Krishna, I meditate on you. But even then, that's not possible. When devotees chanting Gayatri, meditating on Gurudev, meditating on Mahaprabhu, no. There's some other meditation comes. Yeah. Some meditating on human beings, meditating on ghost, meditating on material objects, then how we can realize the transcendence of the Gayatri? If for 15 minutes or 20 minutes we can't meditate after receiving mantra, we can't meditate on that object of that meditation, Gurudev, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and Radha Krishna, then what is the use of our meditating, chanting mantra? I'm not saying to give up, but I'm saying to understand properly. While chanting Gayatri, how much attention needed to meditate on Gurudev, meditate on Mahaprabhu, means his birthplace, Shimayapur Dham, and there are many process of meditation. But actually Dhimahi here means not simply meditation, but here Dhimahi means meditating on what is my service to Gurudev, what is my service to Mahaprabhu, what is my service to Radha Krishna. That service which has to be Anukulena Krishna Nushilanam, with favorable mood. That's the meaning of meditating on. And while meditating on that, one should wonder, Kim karom me hum, Kim karom me hum, Kim karom me hum, Kim karom me hum. What shall I do? What shall I do? What shall I do? What shall I do? To more, what shall I do means, how shall I serve? That's the meditation. That's the mantras. Kim karom me hum. That's called Kinkari Bhav. That's called Manjari Bhav. Kim karom me hum. Ay Deen Dayar the Nath He Mathra Nath Kadav Lokashe Dai Al. What's happening today? Ay Deen Dayar the Nath He Mathra Nath Kadav Lokashe Hidam Tav Alok Katram Dait Brahmati Kim karom me hum. I cannot see, O Krishna, where are you? My heart burst to tears because I am not seeing you. Kim karo me hum? What shall I do to please you? That's Kinkari Bhav. That's the meaning of Dhimahi Vishambharaya Dhimahi. Mahaprabhu, how can I serve you? That's little something insight of chanting mantra and about Diksha. If we don't know these details, and if we don't serve, how we think we can progress in our bhakti? It's just always singing and chanting and everything will be achieved. Yes, but with understanding. With sambandha gyan, with relationship. Then abhideha, practice, to achieve prayojan. What's our prayojan? Prem prayojan. To achieve prem means loving service to Krishna. So that's why there are some norms to follow to get perfection in the chanting of the mantras and Mahamantra. And we heard that Mana Samharanam, how to take care of mind. We heard that. Shauchya, cleanliness. And yesterday we heard Mauna. Mauna means silence. So we already heard about this. Now next, Bhaktivinoda Thakur explaining Avyagrata. Avyagrata means the restless nature of the unsteady mind is called Vyagrata. The restless nature of unsteady mind. Can mind be steady? The nature of mind is always unsteady. Acceptance, rejections, acceptance, rejections, acceptance, rejection. That's the domain of mind. Liking, dislikings, liking, dislikings. That's why mind is unsteady. But above mind is intelligence. On the level of intelligence, There is no acceptance and rejections. On the level of intelligence, acceptance is there and rejections is also there, but with so much thoughtful. Acceptance of those things which are favorable to bhakti, and rejection of those which are unfavorable to bhakti. Mind, on the level of mind, or to associate with mind, mind will not teach us. Mind always want to enjoy. And because of this enjoying mood, mind is unsteady. Intelligence is the domain of service. Swaha. Bhurbhuva Swaha. Swaha is the domain of intelligence, and that means service, serving mode. Intelligently, not allowing the mind to overpower, but taking full control over the mind. That's all about intelligence. So restless nature of unsteady mind is called Vyagrata. One should chant with Avyagrata, a peaceful and undisturbed mind. Goodness, that's very difficult. One should chant with peaceful and undisturbed mind. Yes? Why everyone is quiet? It's so difficult to chant with peaceful and undisturbed mind. Because I'm associating with my mind, and that's why mind get disturbed and I get disturbed. There is one stage where a person gets so much advanced that if one hand, like my hand, slapping my face, my own face, which we don't do, we slap others, we don't slap ourselves. But there is a level of understanding where a person even slaps you. If anyone slaps you, you don't feel offended at all. Because of this point, can you get me water? You could have done this earlier before telling. So slapping means, oh, the hand is slapping the face. Why I have to get concerned in that? Someone's hand is slapping the face. We don't feel bad if I slap my own face. But if anyone else slap me, I really feel bad. We can't practice this, but I'm telling, while advancement in Krishna consciousness means elevation of consciousness, there's a level when even if someone abuse you or slap you, you don't feel at all. Think, because that's the point of understanding I am this soul and I'm not this body. One hand is slapping face. What I have to do in that? Someone feet kicking my head. That's about feet and head. Thank you. What I have to do in that? That's called soul. Don't get confused. This is not gold. This Maya gold looks like gold. Yeah. That's one understanding. Don't try practice this artificially. But this is, it gets, bhakti get nourished and one comes to this level of understanding. Hunger, thirst, troubles, problems, all these things have to do with my mind and my body. But it has nothing to do with my soul. And I'm a soul. Coming to this understanding is so difficult. And we are thinking to come to understanding who Krishna is. And the dealings of Krishna is so subtle. Is so subtle. Even though we are hearing very high philosophy, but what is our state right now? We're not even understanding that I am this soul. My all activities are not soul centered. Everything is body and mind. My mind say he's not good person. My mind say he's very good person. Everything is mind. So when we associate with mind, then we feel unsteady. If we don't associate with mind, then there is no point of unsteady. It's all because of association. Suppose one Prabhu comes, Maharaj, volcano, lava is flowing. Really? So I immediately associate with him. Earthquake, take your bag, run away. That's one news. By hearing this, I get affected. Natural. But another point, if he comes and say, any good news? Today Gurudev is coming, big island, in new Shiva Sangam. Really? Start decorating. Good news. Bada sukhera khabar khai. So I'm associating with the news. This is how we can check our association. Am I associating with my mind? And because of that, it's always unsteady and restless. The moment we cross this level, and the level is intelligence, there everything is very fair and transparent. Understanding the subtleties of the soul in the dealings. That's very subtle level of understanding. So this comes by association. Otherwise, don't take me wrong. Let me say someone's name here. Janardhan, I curse you, you will die after 7 days. No, I'm coming Seattle tomorrow, don't worry. But after my visit over, you will die. How will you feel? Parikshit Maharaj got this curse. I mean, it's true with all of us. If someone curse or some astrologer tells us, okay, after 7 days, you will die. You know this story? Once upon a time, one sannyasi, he was well-wisher to the king because king serves everyone. So much pain king has to take care of everyone, setting up laws, etc. So this sannyasi wants to make the king a devotee. But king is so much busy in his enjoying and taking care of his subjects. So the sadhu came, the sannyasi came at the door and told the guards, I want to see the king, just inform him, only 2 minutes. Guard said, okay, you wait here, let me inform my king. He went inside. Oh king, there's one sadhu who wants to see you for 2 minutes. Oh, I know why they come here. They always after donations. There must be some program in their center and they always come for donation. Take this $100 and give him and just say, go. I know the reason why they come. The guard, they gave $100. That our boss, our king has sent this for you, donation. So Hare Krishna. Sadhu became very upset. What do you think? I'm here for money. And he threw this dollar on his face. Give him back. I just want to see him for 2 minutes only. Something very important for his life. God said, okay, why are you shouting at me? I'm not the one. I'm just giving you the message. Okay, wait. I'm going inside again, inform him that you are very angry. So he came inside. Sir, he's so angry. And he threw this $100 on my face. Oh, I know. 100 is less. I know. They are here for some big amount. Okay, I can't spare my time. Just give $1,000 and say, please, go away. Yeah, this happens, Prabhu. God knows. When we were in Mathura Math, every Dwadashi, we used to go Diksha. All brahmacharis. Sometimes our didis also, Krishna Priya from Canada, Janaki, some didis, Gaur Sundar, Shravan, Hare Krishna Prabhu, myself. We just go in different, streets, and every Dwadashi with 2 bags, we go each and every house and asking Diksha, rice, dal. Some people really welcome us and some were very abusive. You came again? Why are you coming again? And so many, I can't explain. And we have to tolerate everything. That's the whole purpose of Diksha. You have to tolerate. It makes you very strong. No pride. So Sadhu, the guard brought $1,000 and he said, Maharaj, this is donation, but king has no time for you. And he became so upset and he threw away that dollars. I'm not here for your dollars. I'm going. He became so upset. While he was walking way back to his cottage, he was thinking, I'm Sadhu. I'm not supposed to be like this. King is in mode of ignorance. He's not understanding I'm here only to benefit him. He only value everything with money. That's only his consciousness and his intelligence is. But I'm Sadhu. I should tolerate his abusements. And I should work out to make him devotee. That's the nature of Sadhu. You see? So he thought a trick. He came another day. Next day he came. Guard said, Maharaj, you came again. We are very sorry, it's not our fault. He said, no, don't worry. I'm not here for the king. Okay, tell queen. I want to speak to her. Only 2 minutes. Okay, sir. The guards went to queen. Maharani, king insulting that sadhu. We are in trouble. They will curse us like 4 Kumaras curse Jai Vijay. We don't want to get this curse. So please, he wants to see you. Can you please come for 2 minutes? And he'll be happy. The queen came with so much honor and respect. Maharaj, Danvat Pranams. How can I serve you? He said, hey queen, listen carefully. Your husband king thinking that I'm here for his money. I already have so much money. I don't need his money. He is my servant. Huh? Everyone is wondering, huh? King is your servant? How is possible? He said, yes, because I'm the boss of my mind. Huh? Mind is my servant, and king is a servant of his mind. That means he is servant of my servant. The king is servant of my servant because my mind is my servant and king is a servant of his mind. So I have enough wealth, but I just came to give advice to him. I can see future and I can tell that your husband, the king, going to die in 7 days. Just want to inform him this much, that whatever he wants to do, he can do. Only 7 days life. 7 days life left. Queen became so shocked. What? My husband's so foolish. He's not giving time and he's here to give us the news. Not good news, but something shocking news. So she said, okay, Maharaj, thank you so much. I'll see you again. I'll come to your ashram. But let me go immediately and inform the king. The king was in his palace and was discussing some very important meeting with the ministers. Queen came and said, excuse me, please come in my room. I have something very important. He said, wait a minute, let me finish my meeting. No, right away. Immediately, right away, you have to come. King thought, what happened? And he came in the room. What happened? The queen said, you know that sadhu, that Maharaj, that sannyasi wants to see you for 2 minutes. Can't you give 2 minutes? Oh, they are for money, I know. No, he's not there for money. He just want to inform you that you're going to die in 7 days. He can see your future. Really? This is what he said. Yes. Now king became panic. 7 days. Only life. Only 7 days. Then I will die. No more meetings. Everything. Give up. King told his priest, get me one mala, tulsi mala. And he started chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He's chanting, but he is not accustomed to chant, but he's pushing himself, forcing, chanting. One day passed. Second day, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The king told the queen, oh, I heard there is japa session, Siddhanti Maharaj on Zoom. Please connect. I want to hear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Anyhow, that was a joke. So second day, third day, all the 6 days he started day and night. He was just only chanting. 7th day, bas, he's so hopeless now. Oh queen, if I offended you anyway, please forgive me. That's the last day of my life. I'm so sorry if I have ever hurt you. And my all possessions, everything belongs to you now. And he started remembering this and that moment, this moment. Anyway, now I have no time to speak to you. It's already midday. Queen said, please eat something. No need. I'm going to die. 12 midnight. Because the 8th day we're going to start after 12 o'clock. So only few more hours, Queen. No need to eat. Don't worry. You always served me so much. I don't want any food now. And he lied down on the bed. Hare Krishna, Krishna. And now it's 6 p.m. He's looking the clock. Only 6 more hours. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Ministers, just go. Give me some rest now. Hare Krishna, Krishna. And then it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. He's chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Clearly hearing. Oh, what Jiva Goswami told, Hare means Sarvachet, Hare Krishna Sachittam, Hare Jaso. Hare means Radharani. Krishna means Karshati Sa Lavanya Murali. Now I only learned Hare Krishna, and the next year Hare Krishna I'll learn next life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Now it's so 11:45. Only 15 minutes left for my life. Imagine if this happening to us. Hare Krishna, full concentrate. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, concentrate on your, meditate on your Naam. Hare Krishna, and then he's saying, huh? I think I'm dying. I can only see one, what do you call? Needle. Huh?
Hand or cock?
Yes, only one. I cannot see the other one because they both are on 12. I'm losing my eyesight. See, I'm dying. Then he saw 12:5. Oh, I can see two now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. 12:30. 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Queen, see the potency of my chanting. I survived after 7 days. Maybe God has given me more time, extended my life. Extension, visa extended. Please call that sadhu. I want to know how many more hours I have. King sent the guards. Bring that sadhu here. The guards came. Maharaj, king wants to see you. Oh, really? Oh, he need money? Here's $100. Give him. Oh, Maharaj, we are so sorry. It was king, was not us, but anyway. And the guards came with $100. Sadhu has offered $100 to you. He has no time for you. King felt so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. Please beg him to come. And I'm feeling so sorry for this. The guards came again. Maharaj, please excuse the king. Please come. Oh, 100 is less? 2,000. Go give him. Then Queen said, King, why don't you go personally? You offended the Maharaj. You should go and ask forgiveness, and if you really want to know how much more life you have. You see, for 7 days he was so panicked, his mind so disturbed. I'm dying. Every moment he's dying because he's counting days and hours and minutes and seconds. In a mind, unsteady mind, only thinking dying, and chanting Harinam. But then, when he came to Sadhu, both king and queen paid obeisances to him. Maharaj, I can't even see you. I feel so shy and embarrassed. What I did, I'll never do this again. Can you please forgive me for one time, please? Okay, I forgive you. I came for you. Never think Sadhu comes to you to get money from you. He said, I understood this. I'm so sorry. I understood this. But you informed the queen I'm going to die in 7 days. 7 days already passed. Today is the 8th day. I'm still alive. Can you tell how many more days? Maybe because of chanting, my life got extended. He said, yes, I remember I did said that you will die in 7 days because everyone in this world die in 7 days. There is no 8th day. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Was that simple? You didn't understood my meaning. Everyone in the world, they die in 7 days. There is no 8th day. So I just said, you may die in 7 days, but you took it very seriously. It's good that you chanted for 7 days. I said, oh, you mean to say that? And I understood I'm going to die after 7 days. He said, no, I said in 7 days. Because everyone died in 7 days. After Sunday is Monday. There is no other day. King said, "Oh, so relief." But I realized the experience of chanting, and I felt my death very close to me in these 7 days. Now I'm not going to waste my life as I was before. I will serve all sadhus and I will chant every day. I will hear Shri Bhajan Reste by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and I will do japa every day 1 hour on Zoom. So, simple story, but of great value. We all have to die in these 7 days. And we are associating with our mind, which is always restless and unsteady. So this is one example of a story. There are some stories. Once upon a time in India, I was speaking one story like this, and there was one sannyasi became very upset. And after Harikatha, 3 hours Harikatha, he came to me in my room. Maharaj, don't put those stories. Only speak what Prabhupada said. These stories are not bona fide ones. Only Prabhupada words are bona fide. I said, due respect to your words. I know this. But sometimes many stories gives us very good information and inspiration. No, but Prabhupada. I say, Maharaj, did you ever heard Upakhyan Upadesh by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada? He understood what I wanted to say. He said, oh, I'm so sorry. He asked forgiveness. There's a book written by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada called Upakhyan Upadesh. It's also there in your library. And what do you find in that book? Very funny book. Srila Prabhupada, who's always speaking so deep philosophy. But this book is stories. Stories of a monkey, story of a donkey, simple stories, village stories. But after speaking the story, the moral of the story, which is philosophy. Very interesting. I will see if I have in my computer and we can have Hari Katha. And it's very good for preaching to new people. Very simple stories. I said, didn't Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he wrote those stories? Because there is some philosophy behind this. Why Srila Rupa Goswami Pad said, Yuvati Nam Yatha Yuno Cha Yuvati Yatha. Oh Krishna, just like a young girl get attracted to see a young man, and a young boy get attracted to see a young girl. There is spontaneous attraction. When the day will come in my life that I get spontaneous attraction for you, oh Krishna. Why Rupa Goswami took this ordinary example? Why? Young man and young girl, woman, boy or girl, because we only understand this language. So to make us understand this language, they have to descend, they have to come down to this level. So this was a story of a king, 7-day story. Yeah, funny story. But now coming to the comparison of Shri Parikshit Maharaj, king, got cursed by son of Rishi, Shringi Rishi. He took water in his hand and he cursed Parikshit Maharaj. Iti langete maryadaya takshak saptame ahani dagshanti sankulangaram. That king who offended my father and put snake on his neck, I curse that king, he will die in 7 days. When Parikshit Maharaj heard this, he was not affected. Mind not unsteady, or mind is not restless or not unpeaceful. Rather, he became very peaceful after hearing this. And that's why Khantir avyat kalattam virakti man shunyata asha bando samadkante naam gane sadaruchi asakti tad gunakhe priti tad vasti sthale. These are the symptoms of person who are on the stage of bhav. Parikshit Maharaj, Khanti. The ideal example of Khanti means not affected at all with any circumstance. Even though he got, before I said that was one story, but here in Parikshit Maharaj, it did happen. He got cursed. That 7 days, after 7 days, the king of snakes, Takshak, will come and kill him, bite him. Parikshit Maharaj, when he heard this, he said, oh, very good. Yes, he said, maybe my Lord, my Krishna thought I'm getting too much involved in my kingly duties. So he arranged a curse for me so that I can meditate on him. I can remember him more and more. He took this unfavorable circumstance as favorable to his bhakti. This is called association. Tatyanukampa susmikshamano. Accepting unfavorable situations, unfavorable, yes, for my mind and some difficulties with my body. But if we try to connect this with bhakti, favorable one. Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, he said when he was serving in young age, his Guru Maharaj, he never got time to even open a book to read or learn any verse. And he knew so many verses by heart. He knows all philosophy. He said never there was a time when we had any opportunity to open a book to read, because from morning till night only service. Then we asked, how you learn so much then? So much scriptures, philosophy, how? He said, while we were serving, our ears were only towards what Guru Maharaj is speaking. Suppose Harikatha is going on and someone is cooking there, ears are always here to hear. He said, this is how we were grasping what Guru Maharaj was speaking. And then one day, his bone broke. There was fracture. And after that, he started walking with his stick. He said, whenever we get some fever, some disease, we were taking this as a boon and a blessings of Krishna to us. Because in this state, fever, I'm sick on bed, I can't do any other. I can't cook, I can't do deity worship, I can't go here and there. And that was a time when we used to open book to read something. Taking those unfavorable circumstance as favorable to my bhakti. Khantir. Parikshit Maharaj took this favorable. Krishna, you broke my leg. Okay. Now I can study in chanting. And there is a lot of Harikatha archive full of Harikatha. Before my mind was restless. I have to go here, I have to go there. Now I cannot go anywhere. I can chant 64 rounds, make a regulation of my life. As Prabhupada wanted, Gurudev wanted, all acharyas wanted. Now is the time I can spend 7-8 hours, 64 rounds a day. Can make my life successful. Mahaprabhu wanted this. But when I was healthy, I was not able to do this because I have so many other things to do. Now I am fit for this, chanting 64 rounds a day. So 7 to 8 hours chanting, 1 hour hearing Harikatha, 1 hour speaking Harikatha, 12 hours, 1 hour reading something, 14 hours, 7 hour rest, and some eating, 24 hours gone. It's easy to say, but maybe it will be difficult in that circumstance. But we can make this as our ideal, our schedule. This opportunity to chant 64 rounds. There's many devotees, they do this. Because that's our ideal. 16 round is not our ideal. Coming to the point of 64 rounds every day. Mahaprabhu said this, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, everyone. That's our idol. Spending 7-8 hours chanting. Then there are so many books. There are plenty of books to read, to learn verses, to speak Hari Katha. There's so much we can do, but we need inspiration for that. And that's why we need a guardian. Those who have this fire can lit fire in our heart. So then associating with them, those who have this fire. But today our subject is unsteady mind, restlessness. But how Parikshit Maharaj is taking that unfavorable circumstance as favorable to his bhakti. He said, very good. Krishna gave me this, curse. It's very good. So therefore, I take shelter of tam upiyatam pratyantum. I take shelter of Brahmins, means sadhus. I take shelter of Ganga, and he stopped eating and drinking. He came to the bank of Ganga, only 3-hour drive from capital Delhi, on the way to Haridwar, this place. Only 3-hour drive. This place, Shukratal, where Shukdev Goswami, where Parikshit Maharaj, he started fasting. And hearing this, hundreds of rishis from every corner, from caves, from mountains, they all came there. Who wrote emails to them? No one. How they know this happened? In their meditation. Such fast media was there, more than fast, more than 5G. Immediately they came there. Parikshit, you got this curse. Okay, sit down. We'll do yagyas for you. Not interested. Parikshit, you are king. Give charity. Not appealing. Parikshit, do this, do that. Not appealing. And then, in the middle of thousands of rishis, Tatra Bhagwan, Tatra Bhad Bhagwan Vyas Putro, Yadichagam Atman Upekshah, Alikshalingo Nijalava Tushto, Vrittasta Balan Abadut Vesha. Naked, Shri Shukdev Goswami. Long hairs, lotus-like eyes, bluish complexion, long arms, broad chest, all description is there. Shri Shukdev Goswami appeared, and everyone stood up in the honor of Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami sat on a raised platform, and immediately Parikshit Maharaj asked questions. And Shukdev Goswami is giving answer. Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Bhagwan Ishvo Hari Shotavya Kirtavya Smaratavya Ichhatavayam. Hearing, chanting, and remembering Hari. That was his first answer. And Parikshit Maharaj 7 days, 7 nights, not eating, not sleeping, not drinking. Yesterday, after a program, when I went to bed, I was thinking this. Always we have to think something. I was thinking, program was over, prasadam, feast was over. When I was about to sleep, I was thinking, what kind of Hari Katha was that? Where Shukdev Goswami, non-stop, Parikshit Maharaj, non-stop, and Narad ji was there, Parashar ji was there, Agast Rishi there. 7 days, 7 nights, no eating, no drinking, no sleeping, and just Shukdev Goswami constantly speaking and Parikshit Maharaj is hearing. Imagine. 7 days, 24/7. So much was there to say. And Parikshit Maharaj is not even falling asleep. He's so attentive and is grasping everything. So this is one, Khantir. And second is Avyart Kalatvam, not wasting a single moment. Not wasting a single moment. Kim karom mein hum, kim karom mein hum. What I can do more, what I can do more, what I can do more. You know, we have to live in this realm, spiritualized. And if we are focusing on this, then other sufferings which are bound to come according to our destiny, they will come, but they will not give us any troubles because our mind is not there. It's all matter of mind. Mind is a storehouse of feelings. Cannot affect the mind because mind is focused on something very high. And when the mind is associating something low, every single thing, how dare he told me to sit like this, get affected. Just only very simple things. Because mind is so lowly associating. And when mind is very high associating, no matter what happens, not affected at all. This is all about association. To whom we are associating with. Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya. Every day, every hour, possible, if not, and at least every day, hearing Hari Katha, which inspires us for this understanding. Many more things coming in my mind right now, but we're already late. So, tomorrow will be no session, day after tomorrow, hopefully. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, all Vaishnavas ki jai, वो मंगल हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।